Howdy, partners. I'll just check I've got a picture first. Because we always got to check if there's a picture. And it does take a few minutes, a couple of minutes, for me to see if I got a picture or not. Seems a bit slow in refreshing it. It's like, yeah, you got to do it a couple of times before it kind of wigs in. Right, I do believe we're live. Right, I've got the chat box up in case people come in. It's making noises, so we don't want noises, do we? No, we don't want noises. Right then, back with Kerbal Space Program. Yeah, I've been trying to do this one, but I've been uploading so many 4K ones, which a couple of them have failed. Shadow War one, there was a Shadow War one that failed, and the one I did yesterday for Ark with 4K and all the graphics on, unfortunately failed for some reason. So there just seem to still be problems with the whole scenario. So I'm going to go into here, and hopefully you won't see what's in here until I get right up close. Oh, good. Good. Right. And everything seems to be a lovely picture. Right, here we are then. Right then. We are going to take a trip to the Mun. Now I know that's a bit dull, but this is a special delivery for the Mun, which of course is what they call the moon in Kerbal. Right then, so here we go. Special delivery. So there it is, it's a pretty standard sort of ship. A couple of really, the really big solid rocket booster things on the side. So that means we do not need to use this engine, much of that engine, to take off. And if we look at the top, it's quite long, alright, but then it's kind of a big bit there, and then it goes very big. So it's very aerodynamically secure, as you can see. And then I'll show you the surprise what's inside. Well, you can sort of guess by the title up there, moon base. So this is going to be a bit tricky, because I had a practice. It seemed like it was going to be okay, but I was a little bit struggling for fuel. So I made sure I got enough fuel this time. So now it should work. And I put a couple of these little things on here on the sides just to make sure they boost away, and they're on both sides. So they do go away and don't hit this center tank. That's always a good idea. You can't onion these because these are solid and these are liquid, so you can't do that. So let's try this beauty off, shall we? And yeah, I want to show it from the beginning because I want to show it going up there. It doesn't take very long to get there, and but then I want to unfold the surprise of what this moon base looks like, because I'm trying to do it in one go, which is kind of suicidal. But you know me, I'm up for a challenge. So I usually center I usually center the camera somewhere up here. Where are we? Alright, so let's try and centralize it a bit, maybe a bit more than that. Maybe a bit higher than that, so we get all the craft in. There we go. We have a couple of pilots here. We have an engineer and a pilot. Alright, and they're looking very happy inside there. And you just get a tiny glimpse of what it may look like. But yeah, this is kind of a different kind of inside. Because, hello, how are you? It's a different kind of inside. Yeah, it's all the controls reversed for some reason when you're inside. So that's that. So let's go back out, shall we? So there's Piper, no, not Piper, Jenin and was that? My eyes are terrible. Duvin. Right, so should be able to take off with just that small amount of thrust, because the solid rocket fuels have their, have their own thrust. They're 100% all the time. Ready? No, that ain't it. Why did that? Oh, it's because I got that on. Ready? Fire! So we'll get this great big blob to the Mun. So, yeah, I know you've seen me go to the moon many, many times, but I want to unveil the surprise. So when we get sort of near the moon, Then I'll unveil it. But this is quite good because look, you don't have to use very little thrust. So that centre tank is burning down really slowly. So it's really nice. So we're not using too much of that. So we save as much fuel as possible. We should have plenty now. I have. Yeah, sorry if I sort of spit into the mic, but I've got to have it fairly close. Otherwise it doesn't pick it up very well. It keeps dying down. So I've got to have it quite close to my mouth. So apologise, if I sometimes cough into it, or do that kind of, that kind of thing. So right, when you get to 200, just ease this down so it's not rocketing up, get it? So that you can, in fact, you can practically turn it off. So we don't hit 300 before we get out of that light blue area. We don't really want to be doing that. And then we're going to turn slightly. I may turn a bit early actually. Then we want to turn slightly. Now it looks like it's getting red hot there. That looks like it's getting red hot. I wonder why that is. And then we're turning towards 15. Oh, I've left it very late here. In fact, we left it very late. I'm going to throw those off. So I've kind of left it exceedingly late here. Hopefully it won't tip over. Please don't tip over. Oh dear, I've done a very bad start here. It's about right for me, isn't it? I do a stream and it all goes wiggly. Hang on, I've got a job to pull this back. A little bit slow at getting that off, get that into the... Well, the 45 out of the 90 degree thing. Just sort of halfway stage. We want to be on this area, then we're going to whip to this one here. So that we can just see how we're doing. And we've got to have T plus 1, about 1.5. 1 might do it. Now I should be getting rid of the fairing as soon as we get to a certain height, but I want to keep the surprise. And man, am I saddened by the delay for Kerbal Space Program 2? Because I think it's been pushed to 22 now, which is a real shame. Because I was really looking forward to that this year. At least I think so. I think it has been delayed again, so yeah, it's a real shame. So I'm going to get it up to about 90. I think that will do. I don't want to waste too much fuel. And then I'm going to do that. Just stop the rotate. Alright, it's going to rotate. Okay, carry on rotating then. If you want to rotate, rotate. So for some reason it goes like that sometimes. We should have plenty of time now to do this. I don't want to go too high because it's probably beneficial to go high, but oh god, I can't get this in the middle, but somewhere around there. We don't want to dilly-dally too long on that because we want to set this up and have plenty of time to do it. So we've got to even it out so that they're even left and right. Well, because it's kind of spinning a little bit here, it's going to take a little while to get to that. Yeah, I've got a bit less fuel this time, so I kind of messed that up a little bit. So we've got 1 minute, so that's 30 plus 24. Oh, that's 54, isn't it? So I see that's pretty old. It's gonna. Well, we need to be doing it now. So yeah, because that's started spinning. I knew it. The curse has got me again. Hope it is recording the. Hang on, let me just check. Hope it is recording the. Yeah, it looks like it's okay. Yeah. Right. So I was just checking whether it was picking up the mic. Oh yeah, of course it is. It shows up on the top right there. Stupid boy I am. So I'm wasted a bit of fuel here. About right for me, innit? And then we're going to get rid of that. So that's the the heavy stuff has been thrown off. Now we just got a blob to get to the mun. I wonder if the new one will do the same things. Still do curbing and the mun and all that, or whether they will actually do like a new solar system. I've heard that there's going to be different solar systems as well, which would be fantastic if there are different solar systems. Although I got a job to get out of one. I can't even get to the far reaches. I've only just got to Dres, and that took a lot of effort and a practice run. So I'm not very hopeful. So we should be whipping out of the old atmosphere quite soon. So we're getting very close now. If you look at this figure here, so that's the highest point, which is here, apoapsis, and that's the periapsis, which is the lowest point. Why they call it that, I'll never know. And I don't really want to look it up to find out, because it doesn't really matter, does it? Although some people might look it up. Right, here it goes, whip it out. So I usually tag it by pressing the X button on the old controller. And I wish I could get this one going really well on my PC. Yeah, I've kind of spent a lot of fuel here. But we're a bit higher, so I don't know, maybe it'll help. But yeah, I've been trying to get my PC one, but he does work, but I get very slow frame rate on it. Very, very slow. And I've kind of turned it down to like half textures. It still runs slow, so it is a bit iffy on PC. I suppose there's more on that, but I don't think that should make a difference. Oh no, no, no. Why does it do that? There's not even a ship there. Okay. Can't quite work that out sometimes. It's not a ship there, and yet it wants to put one there. You know, I mean, you know, tell me, does that make sense? I mean, I don't think it makes sense. And then, of course, we got to set that as the target, of course. Otherwise, we won't get the encounter come up. So, I don't want to. Oh goodness me! I don't want that. No. It's like when you got things. Yeah. Oh, it's all going wrong already. I mean, I didn't get any of this trouble. When a little practice just to see if I had enough fuel. Right. Let's push this baby out. And let's get a nice encounter fairly quickly. It is flickering a bit. So when I did my practice, it kept flickering in and out. So it was a little bit of a pain there. And we're going to use our little tool here. Turn that right down like so. And we're just going to tweak this up a little bit so we can get some nice accurate, maybe a bit too far there. Now I just hope this doesn't disappear again, because sometimes it kind of disappears on you. It's just not good. And then we'll stick it on there, which is the blue marker. And we hope it stays there, but sometimes I go back to this screen and then that orbit line disappears. And then I got to keep going in and out of the map thing to finally get it to come up. So it's a little bit iffy. And then we're going to go here. It's always best to do this. Focus the view on here so that we get an idea of, whether we're kind of on the right axis. Because I usually like to be going around the center area. If we line up our yellow line here on the left, that's the kind of center point. It is roughly about the middle, so that's fine. Okay, so that's looking good. Now let's hope it don't flicker out. This is on a quick resume thing, so and you know what quick resume is like. It's there are a couple of problems with Series X. They're working on the updates now. There should be one coming fairly soon. So what's that? Oh, we can't go to the next maneuver because it's more than a minute. So I'm already using too much fuel. Okay, so we're going into the next tank already. So I kind of wasted that on a bad start there. So let me see. Let me warp round to say there. Okay, we are kind of around this area here. It's got two different modes. It's like one when you're doing a warping, you got to use the left button to go in and out. But when you're setting the maneuver node, it's the triggers. So I get confused between the two sometimes. Right, so 218. Well, we practically got to do it now. Oh no, what am I talking about? What am I talking about? I'm trying to cut the. It says node in 4. I mean, I should be cutting this in half. What am I talking about? So that's 1 minute 15. Well, 1 minute 17, we'll say. So 1 minute 17. So we can probably go to about there, just to kind of speed this up. So 1 minute 17 roughly. That gives me a sort of second spare. And then we'll have to maybe watch it in at the last minute. It seems to go alright on this bit, and then when we get to the after this bit, this is when it seems to go a little bit iffy sometimes. What did I say it was? 1:17. So I'll speed this up so it don't drag too much, and then we'll get full power, and there we go. Right, we'll watch this beauty go out. And hope it doesn't flicker about. And hope that quick resume doesn't go wrong. Sometimes quick resume is going wrong, so that's a known problem that they're working on. And recording, sometimes, you know, Twitch, it has settled down. I must admit, it has settled down a bit on Twitch, so they may have updated Twitch. Because it does seem to be a bit more reliable now than it was. But recording the 4K stuff is still a bit iffy. It seems to be recognizing and not recognizing my hard drive. Keep switching it on and off, which turns off my recording. So it is. These are things they're working on. So we should get an update fairly soon. It's in the sort of testing area now. Well, put it this way, it's been tested by gamers like us. Put it that way. Like most things are these days. Microsoft got rid of everybody that had any kind of intelligence. Oh my god. Well, this is going horribly wrong. Because I was not even supposed to be using that yet. Holy hallelujahs. Because this was supposed to be... So now you can kind of see the monstrosity. And that's not even staying on that. Oh, because before I was only using that to close the orbit once I got there. So I've made a right hash of this launch, as usual. Yeah, I wonder why that is. I wonder why. I can do a practice just to check that I've got enough fuel and all that stuff. And then when I go to actually stream it, it all goes wonkified, doesn't it? Maybe it's just I'm an idiot. But so this is going to be way out now, probably, because this is a much smaller engine. I know we've got less to carry, but as you can see, we've got a very large moon base there, and just a tiny rocket with a very tiny bit of fuel. So this may make this doubly difficult now, because if I got to use any of that moon base. And what is going on here? Because this is the flickering that's coming in. So yeah, I'm getting problems with flickering now. So yeah, not all games are running beautifully at the moment on there. So they got a little bit. Yeah, I wish I'd probably waited another month or so. I'm glad really I'm not getting the PlayStation 5 too early, because I think they're getting slight problems as well. But apparently chips are short, which is a bit of a shame because I fancy some fish and chips. And a great joke from Uncle RayRay. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm getting this flickering, which, when you're trying to close an orbit, this does make it exceedingly difficult, unfortunately. So yeah. So we've got to come back the other way, so I'll turn the thrust down. Although I can't do it from there, can you? You've got to do it from the engine. So yeah, I may have very little fuel here. So I'm going to do it really low, so that gives us a nice bit of leisurely binding. So we can do it nice and gently like that. Maybe even more gently than that. Just let this count down. Get a nice accurate one, around about 15, 16. I think that will do. There we go. Right, now please don't flicker now. And then we're going to add a maneuver here, and this is where we got to use the triggers. And we're going to... Is that in the middle? It's a bit hard to see because it's orange. I can't really see that very well. We'll try that one and hope this brings it in. 10 minutes. Is it saying 10 minutes there? Hope it's not saying 10 minutes because... Oh, that's because I've turned the... Yeah, and here we go with the flickering. So it makes it really difficult because when I think I'm near it, I get the flickering going on. It's only happened, I think, this time. Maybe once it had, you know, the old time it happened before, but yeah, it's kind of, and yet, if I do that and then go back, it seems to come back again, sort of temporarily. So it's kind of a little bit wonky, as you can see. It's not going quite as I expected. So we turn this back up to 100%, and now it's more like it. 1 minute, so this could be a tricky beauty, I'll tell you. For some reason, yeah, it's gone over there. I can never quite work that out why it goes over there. So yeah, as you can see, I'm having a problem already, so that's going to make landing extremely difficult. So I should be able to like go to about here. So moon's spinning around there, and or the moon, so I say. All the little satellites going around. I've got my satellites going around, and a couple of satellites going in different directions. So we kind of got communication at some kind of point. So we need 32 seconds. So let's hope I got enough fuel here. So as long as I got the fuel for here, I was hoping to do a bit to do the landing as well, but looks like I'm not going to make it. So we're going to warp to the next maneuver because we only want 32 seconds, and then we're going to go to the ship now so that we get an idea where it is. So if you're watching, howdy partners. I keep forgetting to say that. I'm losing my catchphrase here. And everybody's watching, welcome. And if you could put a follow on there, and if I'm on YouTube, when I get it on YouTube, if you follow, like, and a subscribe, we'll go down a beautiful treat. Thank you very much. 32. Thank you for listening. And then we'll see if we can get this huge great Arctic thing, which I hope is beautifully balanced, but if not, we're in a tank of trouble. And there she goes. Right, let's see how this fares. I'm not letting you look at it too much. And this particular one just here is the moon landing, a little bit that was left behind, but I kind of want to keep it there. It's like the little lower stage of the lunar lander. I kind of want to keep it there. And here comes the blue ring of beauty. I usually, put the click X on it just to highlight it, and it's supposed to show it when you go back out on the map and come back in. It's supposed to retain it, but it doesn't seem to be working all the time. But it does run really nice on Series X now. I didn't record this in 4K because this usually shows up pretty well anyway, because there's not many things to move about, is there really? It doesn't really move that much. Oh yeah, we got some spare fuel, good. So we haven't completely messed it up. And then we'll shut it off a little bit before, round about the 2 mark. And then we'll just ease it down. Start off a little bit fast so that we don't lose our window of consensus, and then we'll shut that off. Like so. There we go. We're on about 15 by 15. Beautiful. Now, where should we land? Now, I was thinking of landing near this. This is where I set some instruments, although it doesn't really matter because, now that one's going around, isn't it? So I think we'll get a nice flat spot, which is, very few little bumpy bits. Probably about here. That'd be kind of nice, or even maybe there. I don't know. It looks, I could do with the old scanner sort of saying, telling me where the resources are for like refueling and stuff. So I'm going to put it there, and we're going to bring this. Hang on, how do we bring this in like so? So we're going to tag that. I usually do about 7. I find that's low enough that it doesn't hit anything. And it gives us a nice solid base for fiddling about. Now, it will, as I say, it does move from right to left, so we'll put it round about, say, there, and then hopefully it will kind of move somewhere around here, but we can adjust it as we're coming around. And then we'll tag it onto there. And yeah, it is quite a monstrosity, this thing. I sort of tagged it all together and hope for the best. And I had to have it beautifully balanced as well. Although there's not an atmosphere, so that makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, now we'll have a little look. Now it's going to take 1 second, which doesn't take a lot of effort really. So we're going to turn this down again. Turn the engine down, so that it's more like about 5 seconds or something. 15 seconds, probably. That's probably a bit too smidgen. 5 seconds. It's got a little bit less. Just, I don't know, around about 8 seconds. That'd be quite nice. Right, now would you like a look at it? So, as you can see, this thing is kitted up to the hilt here. So we have a 4-way kind of base. 2 ends have got docking ports on, just in case we can land something else next to it and join a few together. Although that'd be very difficult to do. And then we've got a couple of little bits where people can come out, because these two they can't come out because it's got a docking port on the end. Alright. These are the containers for collecting ore, and they're empty at the moment. This is the huge convertitron which will produce from that ore, which is collected by these drills, which are on either end. So I've kind of had to weigh it all up to kind of make sure that it's quite nicely balanced. And then we have some cooling panels here, and then we have some nice relay dishes here, so that we can, if somebody's on Duna, we can pick it up on the moon. So we've got most of just about everything we want, plus some really big solar panels here. We've got a nuclear battery on here as well, so we've got a nuclear battery, so that means we've got plenty of battery power. We've got plenty of these big panels here to pick up the sun. But these 4 things here, well, we don't need those, so you'll see that when we land. Oh, have I left it too late? No, you're nowhere near it yet. For a minute there I thought I'd gone too far, but no, of course I haven't gone too far. I'm not an idiot. Some people might disagree with that. So we'll move that. We've got 8 seconds, so only it goes to 1 minute. 1 minute before, so as long as it's under a minute when you cut it in half, you can quite safely go to the next maneuver. And then we'll speed it up so that I don't bore you too much. Oh gosh, that was a little bit too fast. I've got to do it now. I did that never warp too fast. And then we'll stop it. It would wander off, wouldn't it? You would wander off, wouldn't you? Monkey. And then we just tag that down like that. So now it should be beautifully aligned. And we'll just go and have a look, see where it is in position wise. It's bound about right. It's bound about right. And then we'll that's about 7-9. That should do it. I don't think we should worry about hitting a mountain or anything like that. And I'm gonna use this rocket. I might just let that slam into the ground. So. I don't think I've got I don't think I can control it once I disconnected it. So I'm thinking of, on second thoughts, we just let that crash on its own and hope we don't hit it on the way in and it doesn't land on top of us. Right then, and then we go to this one. As you know, the best way to do it is to... Now, it's still going to move slightly right to left, so I'll set it about here. No, not on that. On that. And then we're going to... Whoops. Hang on, I'll move that there. Didn't done that. Let's probably put it, say, there, and then we'll bring this not all the way in, but almost all the way in. Yeah, sometimes you want to get nice and close. So it's kind of, you know, it is called kind of, you know, covered up by the little thingy there, and it will come in fairly close, so we can go straight down practically. All right, and then we'll set our little maneuver node, which is that blue one, as you know. And of course I tried to upload that ARC one. I think it was about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, where I look at, you know, 4K, all the graphics on, you know, and also with light shafts on. The only thing I didn't do was the bloom, and it was 30 frames per second, which on my base, which has got the Orthanc base, that huge tower, it's pretty good, because it was 15 on an Xbox One X with all my animals and that big base and Orthanc. So that's doubled the frame rate. But if I take detailed graphics off and still keep the light shafts, I get 60 frames per second, which is quite impressive, really. You know, I'm pretty impressed with that. Right, and then we'll just watch this come in. Now it says 7 minutes, that's because we've got this thing set low. So we're gonna thrust that back up again, and that's gonna wind that beauty down to 1 minute. And I'm not really care if this runs out of fuel, because we've got to use these tanks here. Now I added some extra on here because when I did a test go on it, I seemed to be very low on fuel. So I'm just going to keep an eye on where we're going to be when we get here. So we'll just zoom to here a little bit, and we'll see how that moves. I want to get a nice smooth spot, really. I mean, it may not be a great place for ore, but I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to land this on something nice and flat. So I don't want to go crazy Mondays. Right, I'm going to click on the Mun now so that I get a more central view, which means I can't zoom in quite so far, I do believe. Oh, yeah. Okay, we won't do that then. It's when you can zoom in on the craft, you can sort of, you know, get closer to the Mun. There's a little tip from Uncle RayRay. Now, as we're approaching, you see it has moved, so I'm going to move it along a little bit, like that, and I'm going to bring this in a bit more so that we're reducing our thingies to practically zero-ish. And then we'll see as we come in how that changes. I mean, I could make it there, although no. I think we'll make it there. That's kind of a nice flat spidge, and hope I don't run out of fuel. So half of 1 minute 23, so that's, you know, 30, 12, we'll say. 30, 12. 32, that's how I do it. I do half and half and then join them together. It's quite easy. So 30, 12, so it's 42. That's how I do my maths. You know, it may not be the greatest in the world, but it's you know, it's a solid idea, isn't it? At least I can do maths, unlike some people. I'm not talking about people on, you know, who are watching. I'm talking about a certain relation of mine. Why? I don't know. She's so clever. She's just great at art, but awful at maths. But you know, we all got our strengths and weaknesses. You know, mine are very few. I'm an idiot. That's one weakness. It's coming in quite nice, isn't it? What do you think? Always got to go on to the next tank there. Well, that's not too big a Christmas present. I mean, I'm hoping that'll be okay. So here comes the moment of truth. This is where it could all go sadly wrong. So what I say? 42, isn't it, or something? 34, yeah, I should have, yeah, a second or two late. So this may not land where I want now. Oh, please land where I want it to land, please. It's kind of looking okay. But as you can see, this could quite easily topple over. It is very heavy on the top. But, you know, I wouldn't say it was the greatest design in the world. I'm not saying it is, you know. I hope I got this set up right too, so that I don't disengage the wrong things or anything. Yeah, that should be doing that, and the 4. Those 4, yeah, on the next one. Good. Right, so it's going to do it any minute. A little bit worried because I've got a little bit less fuel now. That should have got me all the way down. And then we're going to get rid of that and fire those. And hope this doesn't turn a tank on us. That bit's, you know, hopefully won't hit us on the way smushing. Right, now we're gonna cut that, and then we're gonna whoa, come on. Then we're gonna start doing this baby pretty sharpish, because it's gonna be a big heavy drop pretty fast. So let me kill some of this a minute, so that we're going down nice steady. As you can see, it is wobbling a bit, so I was a little bit worried about that. We'll do this to surface because obviously we're very, very close. We need to go a bit more, maybe more than that. Right, we need to go down about 3, and we don't want this baby to flip. Oh, it is kind of tipping a bit, but around about 3, what, anything under 5 would be good. That's not under 5. So hopefully we get a nice steady landing. Make sure we do not go up. Oh, don't tip. And then what we do now is we detach these. Alright. Okay, so far so good. And I'm going to put these on. I do hope I put those on. Oh, don't tell me it's not connected to that. Oh dear. I hope that's going to work. It doesn't really matter. Right, now we'll do the gear. Oh good, yeah, it is working, thank you. Right, and unfortunately we're on a little bit of a slope here. Oh dear, I did not want to be on a slope. I was hoping that was going to be flat. So we'll just glide down this this hill. All nice and gentle like, and I'll kind of try and push it back onto its base bit, which, you know, I don't know which way that is, but possibly that way. Yeah, we're on a bit of a slope here, but I got the thing down, which is a miracle. Yeah, I thought that was a lovely flat bit, but it's kind of part of a gigantic crater, is it? I mean, it's very hard to tell, really, isn't it? But I'm quite pleased with that. Alright, it's a little... it makes... You know, and I can easily get rid of this scrap. Although I would love to be able to pick up the fuel from that. You know, if I had a grabber or something, then, you know, but I can just dispose of these that are on the floor. You know, with the... But yeah, we're on a little bit of a slope. You know, I mean, I could risk taking off, but that would be stupid. But I can't really, because I've lost the rockets. So we're kind of stuck. But now we can do this, you see. We can deploy the scanner. And one thing I have noticed is when this curb net thing comes up, sometimes it won't. Can't seem to get rid of the screen because this comes up. Oh, there's no orbital survey, but you cannot seem to get rid of it. So I don't know. See, I cannot seem to stop it. That's what I can't work out. So how do I get rid of this screen? That's what I've never been able to work out. It doesn't seem to want to get rid of it. So I don't know how I do that. I've tried going back to here and it just seems to stay here permanently. So I don't know how to get rid of that. It's very much a mystery to me why that always happens. So that needs sorting out, doesn't it? So I don't know, maybe bring something else up. So I don't know how you do it on PC, but I presume you just stop doing the, the CurbNet access. I mean, but I don't know. Deploy that again? I mean, I'm trying to undo it. So anyway, it's telling me that the ore is 9.15 on average, which is not too bad actually. It's not. I mean, I don't think that's too bad. Sometimes I've got it very, very low. So as you can see, we're very, very heavy. That's why it was trying to tip itself over. and being on a slope has not made that easy. So I'll try and push this guy back onto its leggies. I think it's on all its leggies actually. But yeah, it's going quite nicely. But you would have thought once you got rid of this, that would disappear, wouldn't you? So I don't quite know how to get rid of that. I mean, but what I'll do now is I'll go to the tracking station. Maybe when we go back it'll be fine. So let's go all the way down to the bottom. And let's get rid of those things. Now I usually check, and they should be what, 5 parts? I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, at least 4 parts. So it's going to be all of these. So, but the one that we wanted on the MUN, there is one that's well, it's all MUN base complete, isn't it? There is one up here, which is the one I want to keep. So all these can go. So as I say, as to do it, we just press B to terminate it. And then the thing is, it doesn't stay there. You've got to keep going back down like that. And then we get B to terminate it. So we could say we're the terminator now. Put it on that one. Yeah, it would be nice if it stayed there, wouldn't it? But let's not ask for miracles. You know, you can't even go from the top down, so and we get rid of that. Hear me? It's alright, we're back in. Hopefully that didn't disconnect anything. I'll just put these on charge, although I have got another spare pair as well. Always best to have a spare pair, that's the best way. So, we should still have that chart come up, and then we can just go back to our craft again, which is always the one that's bottom on the list, and we can just press F to fly it, although we can't fly it because it's on the ground. Hope the legs don't jump up into the air, which they used to do quite a lot. You know, the default setting for the legs ought to be not very bouncy, but unfortunately they seem to have a lot of bounciness, and because they sometimes used to, when you go back to this one, it used to jump off the ground and do like a leapfrog, and of course, you know, you've got to try. This thing hasn't got any rockets, so if it leapfrogs up into the air, we're in a bag full of trouble. So now we you know, we've got a little astronaut and we can bring somebody out. Although there's nobody in there, but there might be somebody in there. Is there anybody in here? Well, I don't know. Where are they? Oh, he's in the little... Yeah, he's driving it, of course. No, he's not driving it, actually. And I do believe there is a ladder somewhere. Oh, let's go back in and just get the ladder out. But I hope I got a ladder on it. I thought I put a ladder on it. I swear sometimes stuff does disappear when you put it on. Oh, I put it on there. Right, okay. And because obviously, you know, this is in the way, I suppose I could have turned it around so it was in between, couldn't I? But I thought, well, we just jump over there. So what I can do is there anybody in here? No. So what we can do is we can get this guy here. And we can, yeah, see which one's the pilot. Let's maybe take the engineer out. We can transfer that one down to that one. Okay, and then we can EVA Jenlin so that she can go down the ladder. Like so. Let's get rid of that thing there. Yeah, it's funny, like, yeah. When it's close to those other little ladder bits, it's always hard to get. Oh no, it kind of tweaked past it. So we sort of let go on here, and then we just jump off that last bit. Oops. God, I got this a bit close. And then we can jump off, don't knock it over. There we go. And of course, at any time, we can just pop back in here. Oh, there he goes. Little jiggly, jiggly, jiggly. And of course, we can go up here, and you can grab all of that and extend the ladder. And watch it slowly unfold like that, and dig into the ground because it's, you know, it's kind of a digging tool as well. And then you could get back in if you wanted. Now, would we want him to go back in? I'm going to try out the drill. What? That's why you got to like this game, because it's so goopy like this. What's preventing you going up there? Yeah, oh, alright, it's all kind of gone sideways, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know what it is with ladders. They seem to be a bit sticking out there. But yeah, I know it was a bit risky to try and put a ladder on here, but I did the let go option there, that's why that went. So we'll have to go for the old jetpack, I think. So we'll thrust him up there. So that was a pointless putting a ladder there, wasn't it? Right, I'll board him in there, and he can go in there, and he can get bored stiff. Right, and then we'll have a look at Jen and see what her view is like from inside there, which is probably very much like a passenger plane. You see, there's a nice little view. Now, that didn't go perfectly. I wasted a lot of fuel there because that really was going to take us most of the way down that empty bit, and I was just going to throw it off at the last minute. But Jen looks quite happy there. And she's in that seat. Now, we could, I presume, I don't know if that's, I wonder if you can actually move our Kerbal about. But I don't think you can. It'd be nice if you could move around inside these, wouldn't it? And walk up to the door and walk out, like, you know, first person or something. I mean, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? But who cares? So there we go. We've landed this thing. I could have made it longer, to be honest, but I was already struggling to get something, you know, get one of those, I kind of wobbled it there. One of those, you know, great big things to go around it. That was the biggest size. So I couldn't really go much longer. See, I could always bring another one down and attach it to this one. Although, I wouldn't recommend it. I wonder if I could turn this around a little bit. No, don't turn it around a bit, Jeffrey. I know, I'd love to go for a slide here. Because the only kind of propulsion we got is these little guys up here, which... It's top heavy. I think I did put some at the bottom actually. Oh yeah, there's some at the bottom. So yeah, we can get the drill down. So we got mining in this game as well. See, it's something I haven't showed you yet. It's this mining part of it. Although I may have showed you it once. I can't remember now. So what we can do is, now that we've done that, once you've done that, you can, hang on, wrong bit. Then we can start harvesting and do this one. I think I have got a shortcut key for this, but you know, I can't bother to look. Oh no, I did that wrong. Deploy it, and then once it's done that, you should start it. And then what should happen is these tanks should slowly fill up. Actually, that's quite good. That's probably the best I've ever had, because usually when I land on it, it's like pretty pathetic really. It's very, very slow. I got to like warp it up to super fast speed. Now, of course, this is going to start getting hot. Okay, so this is where we put these things out, which actually is on a shortcut key. So let me do that. So let's see. It is not. Oh yeah, the solar panels. Yeah, that'd be a good one. So one solar panel, that's the radiator. So 1, 2, I won't do the lights. So 1 is solar, 2 is the radiator. So 1 and 2. So we go back and then we do, press this one and then we do 1. That should unfold those because this needs plenty of power. And then we go to this one, which is actually on the D-pad, it's push it to the right. And then we do these things. And that should keep it nice and cool, because this does generate heat. There we are, and our core temperature, look, it's coming down now, because it does, you know, do quite a bit of heat. See, you notice it was very high already. So it's working at 100% efficiency. And now, once we started to fill these guys up, alright, it's going to take time. So what we can do is just fast forward a little bit. So this goes a bit quicker. Like that. So there we go. So what we could do, we could have another ship land near it. Alright, and we could actually refuel it. I mean, of course, the problem is attaching yourself to this. But, you know, I could do that precisely. He said, he laughed. And then you can start doing that, you see, and that will convert this into fuel. Alright? And you can it's got liquid fuel and oxygen, or you can have monoprop, so you can top up the monoprop, which is this one here. Alright, so we just use a little bit of it. It's a good idea to pin them so you don't have to keep doing this. And you could just do liquid fuel on its own, or you could do oxygen on its own. So, but usually you're doing these. Alright, so that should empty those tanks now. We're slowly emptying it, and gradually. Oh, good, we're actually still filling up quicker than it's making it. So that's quite good. So if we got any fuel tanks, which we haven't. We'd be filling them up with fuel. So, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't put fuel tanks on, did I? That seems like a sad state of affairs. So that's probably the one mistake I made. But I couldn't put it on the bottom, because that would have been stupid. But I could have actually. No, come on. Yeah, where would I attach it? I suppose I could have kept those 4 things, but they were really there just to take me down, and so I could thrust them off. But anyway, so that's what you can do. And you know, if you've got a rocket, you can put all this stuff on, you know, on your little rocket that lands. And you know, I have done that, and maybe we'll do that sometime. Then we can stop that. And yeah, this is just fill up nicely there. But what I'll do is now I'll turn it off, because there's nobody really here who wants any fuel. Actually, let's. I do believe it was 2. No, that was the radiators. Was it 3? No, that's the lights. Is it 4? Yes, 4 retracts the drills. There we go. So I presume it's turned off now, is it? Because, you know, I don't know. Yes, yes. So there we go, and that's there it is in all its glory. We probably don't need these now. These are probably cooled right down. Or is it still going? No, it's just not going. So there you are. There's a great big base. It's going to produce stuff And then if something attaches to it, it could fill it up. That is the idea. And what it is too. Get rid of that. Why are these not showing up? So they got a lovely bird's eye view. Although they're not birds. You can almost see around the corner there. It's a nice little view really, isn't it? Considering, so he's like driving it. And I'm not sure how you switch to the other guy, but for some reason these are not going. And he's sat in his little cabin. There we are. So there you are. I managed to do it. I managed to land this huge monstrosity. It was very top heavy. It's a good job. I mean, I thought that was not going to work there. So I thought it was going to tip over, but luckily it was still standing. Which means we can do another ship to come along and land near it. And if we could... I mean, the chances of me getting that close to be able to dock is probably impossible, but if I put a grabber on it, I'd actually be able to grab, and that will connect, and then I can transfer fuel. So we could do that. So there you are. I thought I'd just show you that. You know, it was very heavy stuff, but I managed to actually succeed at doing that. And there's the lunar module thing there. And we have a lovely station going around as well. And I have a refueler here somewhere. Where are we? Is it this one? Oh, that one's landed, has it? Let's switch to this one. And then I'm going to probably stop on the hour, which will be quite soon. Oh, so still... See, this one is actually refueling at the moment. So if we click on there, it's not going up. I don't have a scanner on this one, so I don't know how fuel efficient it is, but I presume it's not. See, what happens is if it gets really hot, what it will do is it will shut off and actually stop operating, and then bring it all the way back down again. So what I can do now is these. Where's the tanks? I should have some tanks on here. At least I hope I got a tank, because if I haven't, it's be a total waste of time. I mean, did I put some tanks on here? Yes, I did. So look, these are completely full. So we can now refuel our tank. See? So let me just show you that. Although let's... Hang on, I've got to find the things. Where are they? Just there. So if we retract there, we can stop that. Retract it. Have I got a shortcut for that? Although when I come in and when I come out, won't it? Because I just do toggle. I don't think I've set it up on this one. No, you haven't set it up on there, have you, Ray? So we're going to find that one, and then we're going to stop that one. And retract that one. Like so, and then we're gonna, if this one stopped, yeah, he stopped, so all these tanks are full. So now all we got to do, I think, is, yeah, how do we get it from up there to down there is what I want to know. Oh, I think we just pin it. Do you know, I don't actually know how you do that. I mean, it's just there, isn't it? So maybe I've done that wrong, where this has got to be down there. Do you know, I haven't got a clue. I'm just going to speed up so we're getting the nighttime view, which could make things all go completely wobbly, couldn't it? Oh, go on, go dizzy. Almost went dizzy there, so maybe I've done this design wrong. How do you get that down to there? Because I would have thought it automatically fills up, doesn't it? Let's shut this engine down, by the way. Yeah, I've no idea how you do this. Normally it's got in and out. I mean, can I do that? Well, that's how you turn it on and off. So maybe these have got to be connected to that. If so, I've made a right blinder. I could just, I mean, you can jettison it, but obviously that would be stupid. But I don't think that pushes it into there. I think it just gets rid of it. So yeah, I don't really know how you do it, but I presume it just uses it. If we take off, it will use it. I mean, I ain't got a clue. I mean, I'll have to research this stuff. Yeah, research it. So this is our little refuel. The idea was to land and refuel. Yeah, you see what I mean about the bouncy legs? They're very, very bouncy. So spring strength, I mean, if you've got to do it high to make it... Trying to find a way of making it more stable so it doesn't bounce so much. Just kind of wiggle it and see if it still bounces as much. Because I never know what to set these on. Not sure what wheel stress is. Don't put that. If we take our legs up, by the way, we'll just tip over and smash these panels. One thing I haven't got on here is radiators, I notice. So this thing is liable to overheat somewhat. Yeah, everybody always forgets something on Kerbal. And look, now I put that round here. I swear things move sometimes in this game. I swear you put it over here and it kind of gets moved over to there. Either that or I'm just a complete idiot, which I probably am. So anyway, that's enough. I don't want to bore you anymore with this. There you go. And then we'll have a very quick look at our little space station that's going around. We set up one, but we're going to send one to Duna next. Not like that. We're actually going to send a space station to Zaduna. That's my next mission. So I can go around in orbit so that it can dock up. So this is our lovely little space station around the Mun. Looks quite nice, doesn't it? And there's plenty of fuel in here, I do believe, although I could be totally wrong. Well, it's a fair bit of fuel in there. And that's full up. So yeah, it's pretty well full. So this is a little refueler in space and obviously a thingy. Although it's all gone dark, we can't see a thing. Very quickly get around the other side where it's nice and sunny and warm. So anybody on down the bottom there, they shut up those little squares. Because they are little, they are little squares. See, these are, where they are. There we go. Let's do that, and then we'll say point it. What I tend to do is point it retrograde or prograde. If I say control it from here, okay, then we point in a prograde direction. Oh no, that went the wrong way. I want the other way, Sonny. I've changed my mind. Yeah, you would have thought if that is controlling it there, that its nose would point that way. I don't know. So I feel like that's back to front, but never mind. But yeah, it's looking quite impressive. So I've got some. When that ship could come up, you see, and you could fill these up. I part filled these up so that there's some already there for processing, and we have a little processor up here, wherever it is. It's somewhere around the vicinity somewhere. Where is it? Where did I put it? Tell me you forgot that. Well, I think the whole idea was things were going to come up here. Put the ore into here, and yeah, I don't think the process is up here. And the scanner here, what I got to do is actually, I might disconnect this one because we have got control of this one. I could put this into orbit and on a polar orbit, and then that would scan the whole surface and give us, you know, tell us where the best resources are, because you've also got that ability as well, which is tremendous. So if I go to this, see, there's a lot more to this game than you actually think, and I do actually think, surprisingly enough. Why won't it go on that? Is it? I can't centralize on that instead of that. I don't know. Am I messing it up? Try to centralize on the MUN, which usually, oh, that's it. That's it. Right. And if you go on here, okay, it tells you the atmosphere and all this kind of stuff, but on here, it has the surface. So once we get this scanner, you got to go in a polar orbit. So you got to go, you know. Why can't I turn that? Probably because I got that pinned. But yeah, it will show all your resources and stuff, and you can choose which color, all this kind of stuff. So you can do that. You know, you can look at that. You know, it's got atmosphere, ocean. You know, it can tell you all that stuff. But you got to get it in a polar orbit. So you got to go, you know, top to bottom kind of thing instead of around. Looks like we can't rotate it, yeah. So you got to kind of like I've got on the on Earth over there. Oh, it's Kerbal, sorry. We got to go in a polar orbit, which takes a fair bit of rocket power to, you know, do that. And then we'll be able to get a scan of the whole thing, and it will show up like, you know, like a nice orangey color or something, or a purple, and the darker bits are where all the ore is. So it's really, really cool. So I'll leave it at that. Okay, I think I bored you there toward the end. Sorry about that. And yeah, managed to do it, which is an absolute miracle. How did I do that? It's fantastic. We'll just go back there and finish off, although it'll probably be in the dark now. I mean, I didn't do bad. I kind of messed it up, but I did have plenty of fuel. So, but as you can see, if I hadn't have added that extra fuel at the top, I may well have been struggling for the fuel. It may have been a little bit tight there, and you know, you don't want things tight. Not in our time. It looks quite nice. I mean, just on a bit of a slope. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah. But I suppose I'd take it if something's connected, so I don't know how I'm going to connect to anything, because I'd have to retract these first of all. It's a bit of an afterthought, isn't it? So, yeah, so if I do that, they should retract. There we go. But obviously you want to keep these guys out. There we go. I think that's looking quite nice. And then this thing has got a nice communication to everywhere else. So if we go back to orbit and we go to, where is it? Well, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, let's just call it a day there. And thank you very much. It did work. It was very risky because that thing is very heavy at the top. So maybe I don't think you know, the cabins aren't that big. I mean, I could have done these kind of cabins, I suppose. But of course that would have made it a lot heavier, and I would have, you know, had to slow this guy down even, you know, would have been a little bit harder. So it might have been a bit harder, but I could have done them these size, these things coming out. But I thought, well, I'll keep the weight down because I'm obviously having this huge great thing, plus all these tanks. So I want to try and cut down on all that lot. Alright, okay, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time, and guess what? I'll see you later. Okay, bye for now. And don't forget, follow, like or subscribe, depending on which one you're watching it on. Bye for now. See you again. Ta-ra now, and we'll leave you a little view from the inside. Like that. There we go. Landed on our little space station thing. There There we go. It's a nice little view to finish off. Alright, bye for now. See you next time. See you later. Bye. Well, I've got all this space to put the things up, haven't I? Get off.